Picture this. Your hair is thinning, your skin's breaking out, you can't sleep, and no matter what you try, nothing works. What if I told you all of these issues stem from the exact same place? And it's the one thing your doctor never checks. We're diving into why literally every disease can be traced back to your gut. So stick around because by the end of this video, you'll understand how your digestive system controls the entirety of your health, and I'll give you practical solutions to fix it naturally. No prescriptions required. Now, there's an ancient Ayurvedic proverb that totally blew my mind the first time I read it, and it goes like this. When diet is wrong, medicine is of no use. When diet is correct, medicine is of no need. Let that sink in for a second. Thousands of years ago, the ancient healers already knew what modern science is just now starting to figure out. And trust me, once you understand this, you'll never look at your body the same way again. In Ayurveda, we say all disease begins in the gut because this is where agni, or your digestive fire, resides. When agni is weak or overwhelmed, undigested matter known as ama forms and creates toxins that circulate and eventually lodge in the tissues, creating imbalance and disease. But if you zoom out even further, Ayurveda also teaches that all imbalance begins in the mind first. Now, before you think I'm about to tell you that your irritable bowel syndrome is all in your head, hear me out, because this is fascinating. The choices you make that weaken your gut, like what you eat, how you eat, when you eat, your habits, your sleep routine, these are all driven by the mind. A mind clouded by stress, fear, distraction, or emotional turbulence will inevitably make choices that disturb the gut. In Ayurveda, if the gut is disturbed, no system can operate at 100%. Not your hormones, not your energy, not your sleep, not your thoughts. So yes, disease takes root in the body, but the seed is planted in the mind. And once you understand that, all the little things we say make way more sense. Like, have you ever gotten a gut feeling about something? Or felt butterflies in your stomach when you're nervous? That's not a coincidence. Your gut and your brain are intimately connected through what scientists call the gut-brain axis. It's like a superhighway of communication, and what happens in your mind directly affects what happens in your gut, and vice versa. And here's something wild. About 90% of your serotonin, that's your happy hormone, is actually produced in your gut, not your brain. So when people say follow your gut instinct, they're not just being poetic. Your gut actually has more neurons than your spinal cord. It's literally your second brain. But let's be honest, most of our guts are like, girl, you had nachos at 11 o'clock last night. I am doing my best. Give me a minute. But seriously, we need to talk about digestion because this is where most people get it wrong. They think digestion is just about breaking down food. But in Ayurveda, we understand that you're not just digesting food. You're also digesting emotions, experiences, and information. And don't even get me started on all the environmental toxins we come into contact with every day. I'm talking cleaning products, laundry detergent, synthetic materials in our clothing and furniture, pesticides and herbicides on your lawn or at the park. Need I go on? Have you ever noticed how you can't eat when you're stressed? Or how you get an upset stomach when you're anxious? That's because your digestive fire doesn't discriminate. When you're trying to digest anger, frustration, or grief, your body literally diverts resources away from digesting food. It's like trying to run 2 intensive programs on your computer at once. Something is going to slow down. And here's the kicker. When you don't fully digest something, whether it's food or feelings, it creates ama. Think of ama as toxic sludge that builds up in your system. It's sticky, heavy, and it clogs up all your channels. Modern science calls it endotoxins or metabolic toxins, but whatever you call it, the concept is the same. Before we move on, I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed a connection between your stress levels and your digestive issues? Drop a comment below and let me know what you've experienced. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this ancient wisdom sounds cool, but where's the proof? Well, buckle up because modern science is finally catching up. It's like Ayurveda is the straight-A student that did their homework early, and now everyone else is copying off them at the last minute. One study found that having an imbalance in your gut bacteria is linked to everything from obesity and diabetes to depression and autoimmune diseases. Everything. We're not talking about just digestive issues here. We're talking about Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, heart disease, cancer. All roads lead back to the gut. Another study showed that gut bacteria can actually influence your mood and behavior. They found that certain beneficial bacteria produce compounds that help regulate anxiety and depression. Your gut is literally controlling your mental health. Wild, right? And get this. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that 70 to 80% of your immune system lives in your gut. So if your gut is compromised, your entire defense system is compromised. If your digestion is weak, your body diverts resources away from things like detoxification, brain function, hormone balance, and repair. Since digestion is survival, everything non-essential becomes optional. No wonder you keep getting sick. But it's not only that. Researchers have found that gut inflammation can trigger systemic inflammation, which is fancy terminology for inflammation occurring throughout your entire body. That means that inflammation in your gut today could show up as arthritis, brain fog, or eczema tomorrow. It's all connected. So now that we understand that the gut is ground zero for all disease, let's talk about what you're putting in your body. Because here's the truth. You can't out-exercise a toxic lifestyle. You can't out-medicate poor food choices. And you can't out-supplement a bad diet. If you could, trust me, someone in LA would have figured it out already. In Ayurveda, food is considered medicine. Actually, it's considered the best medicine. Because unlike pharmaceutical drugs that just mask symptoms and create other problems, real food has the actual power to heal and regenerate your tissues at a cellular level. But not all food is created equal, and this is where modern nutrition gets it totally wrong. They'll tell you that a calorie is a calorie, or all that matters is your macros. But Ayurveda has known all along that how well you digest your food matters just as much, if not more than, what you eat. You could be eating the healthiest organic kale salad on the planet, but if your digestive fire is weak, you're not absorbing those nutrients. In fact, that raw kale might actually be creating more ama because your body can't break it down. It's like trying to burn wet wood in a weak fire. You don't get warmth, you just get smoke and residue. Now, let's circle back to that mind-gut connection for a minute because this is crucial. In Ayurveda, we say that undigested emotions are just as toxic as undigested food, maybe even more so. Think about someone who's holding on to anger from 20 years ago. That anger is sitting in their system like a poison, creating inflammation, disrupting hormone balance, and weakening their digestive capacity. Research on childhood stress shows that unresolved emotional trauma literally reshapes the gut microbiome and raises your risk for chronic disease later in life. Another groundbreaking study found that psychological stress directly alters gut permeability. That's fancy talk for leaky gut. When you're stressed, the tight junctions in your intestinal lining open up, allowing toxins and undigested food particles to leak into your bloodstream. This triggers an immune response, which means inflammation, and the cascade begins. If you're finding this information valuable, hit those like and subscribe buttons, and also make sure to turn on notifications so you can be the first to know when we drop a new video about how to heal yourself naturally. All right, Ayurveda is very clear. You heal the gut by strengthening the digestive fire. A strong agni means you can properly digest both food and emotions, extract the nutrients you need, and eliminate what you don't. Here's how you do it. Start by eating warm, cooked foods that are easy to digest. Sorry, but those raw food cleanses and cold smoothies, they're actually dampening your digestive fire, especially if you already have weak digestion. Instead, eat things like warm soups, stews, and kitchari. These are easier to digest because they're already partially broken down by cooking. Second, eat in a calm, peaceful environment. This is huge. When you're stressed, your body is in fight or flight mode, which means digestion is completely turned off. You need to be in rest and digest mode, which means sitting down, taking a few deep breaths, and actually being present with your food. No screens, no arguments, no working through lunch. Third, mind your food combinations. Ayurveda has very specific guidelines about what foods go together and what don't. For example, fruit should be eaten alone, not with meals, because it digests at a completely different rate. Mixing incompatible foods creates ama, even if each food is healthy on its own. As a matter of fact, Ayurvedic texts list improper food combinations as a root cause of every single disease. That's how seriously digestion is taken. Fourth, use digestive spices like ginger, cumin, coriander, and fennel. These aren't just flavor enhancers. They're medicinal herbs that kindle your digestive fire and help prevent the formation of ama. There's a reason every traditional culture has digestive spices in their cuisine. They knew what they were doing. And last but not least, make sure to leave 3 to 6 hours between meals, and also between dinner and bedtime. Your gut needs time and space to do its work. Don't overload your system. And if you want to strive for gut perfection, here's a bonus tip. Never eat when it's dark out. Your digestive fire is strongest when the sun is shining. Just this one lifestyle change alone can optimize your health in mind-blowing ways. Try it for a month and then come back and tell me what benefits you notice. I bet you'll be shocked. But remember, we're not just digesting food. We need emotional hygiene too. This means actually processing and releasing emotions instead of stuffing them down. Journaling, therapy, meditation, even just talking to a trusted friend. When you hold emotions in your body, they don't just disappear. They become physical blockages. There are specific practices aimed at releasing emotional ama, which is the residue of unprocessed emotions. For example, pranayama, or what the Western world calls breathwork, is highly valued and supported by modern research, which shows that deep, regulated breathing can increase vagal tone, which improves gut-brain communication, reduces inflammation, and elevates mood. Ayurveda also recommends a daily self-care practice called Dinacharya, which directly translates to daily routine. These are daily practices we do to take care of ourselves physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Traditionally, we might think of things like tongue scraping, meditation, or warm oil self-massage known as abhyanga. But a more modern interpretation could include your journaling practice, a daily walk in nature without your phone, or any other healthy practice that you do for yourself to regulate your emotions and nervous system. These aren't luxuries, they're necessities for maintaining health. Now, if you're dealing with chronic gut issues, you might need a deeper reset. In Ayurveda, we have a cleansing process called panchakarma that's specifically designed to remove deep-seated ama from the tissues. Full panchakarma is usually done at a treatment center under the guidance of an experienced practitioner. But let me give you a simple at-home version anyone can start with. Start with a mono diet of kitchari for 3 to 7 days. Kitchari is a simple dish made from mung beans, rice, and digestive spices. It's easy to digest, highly nutritious, and it gives your gut a chance to heal and reset without the burden of processing complex foods. I'll leave my personal recipe in the description. During this time, also reduce your sensory input. Less screen time, less stimulation, more rest. Remember, you're digesting everything you take in through all your senses. This is a reset for your entire system, not just your stomach. Modern research also supports this approach. Studies have found that periodic fasting or simplified eating patterns can restore gut barrier function, reduce inflammation, and improve metabolic health. And Ayurveda has been recommending this for millennia. Here's the truth that the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want you to know. Most chronic diseases aren't genetic inevitabilities, nor do they require chemical medication. They're the result of years of toxic accumulation from poor digestion and unprocessed emotions. The good news? That means they're also reversible. Your gut isn't broken, it's just overwhelmed. And once you fix the foundation, everything else becomes easier. Your energy, your mood, your skin, your longevity. When you fix your gut, you strengthen your digestive fire. And when you process your emotions instead of stuffing them down, your body has an incredible capacity to heal itself. You don't need a pill for every illness. What you need is to get back to basics. That ancient proverb we started with isn't just poetic wisdom. It's a prescription for health that's been proven over thousands of years. Your gut is your foundation. Everything else is built on top of it. So if you're dealing with any chronic health issue, any disease, any persistent symptom, start with your gut. Strengthen your digestion, mind what you're eating, process your emotions, and move your body regularly. Basically, give your body the tools it needs to heal. Because at the end of the day, your body wants to be healthy. It's designed to be healthy. We just need to stop getting in its way and instead give it what it actually needs to thrive. Okay, are you ready to go deeper into strengthening your digestive fire? Then check out this video right here. And remember, longevity isn't luck, it's a lifestyle. Until next time.